ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule olutalo ngaluwedde. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown when the struggle is over. We shall wear the victor's crown in the new Uganda.
What my colleague, the Honorable Manjeli, has said, answering a current call by our party president to make a humble contribution in support of the so many stranded citizens in the UAE. They're not actually girls only, like my colleague has said. There are actually so many young men stranded for so many reasons. And we invited our Party Secretary General to receive this very humble contribution from members of Parliament to return these citizens, to make a contribution. The last time we checked with the UAE authorities, there were more than 3,000 stranded Ugandans in various jails. And when I saw one of the regime ministers just thumping that they returned 100, probably she's a jail candidate as well, because there are simply so many citizens stranded, and the NUP should be applauded for offering leadership to this call of citizens. The call has been on for more than a year. Their plight was laid before Parliament by a number of MPs, including so many who died before an opportunity to return home. And the leadership offered by NUP to make this practicable should be understood in a framework of humanity, and it's beyond politics and partisanship. When we are returning these citizens in the way they return, we do not ask for their party cards. We actually do not know who their mothers and fathers are. They are simply Ugandans stranded. And we are here to call for a sense of duty and responsibility on the part of an entity calling itself a government to go out of their way, stop their inept conduct, and go and do whatever is feasible to return all the young people home. Remember, we're talking about young people, energetic citizens, capable of making a contribution to the growth and development of Uganda. Stranded in the Emirates, not productive, losing time and energy. And today we are here to not merely hand over this humble financial contribution, but to further highlight their plight and a demand for further action by the regime. The taxpayer paid for a number of planes, including small jets. They should be used to return citizens. We should be seeing more being hired to bring them on a daily basis until they are all home. It's not their crime that they have been subscribing taxes to a regime for more than 30 years that cannot create jobs. It's not their problem that they were born Ugandans in a country headed by greedy people. So we are here to further pray to all and sundry that can make a humble contribution to return these citizens home. But most importantly, to demand that the government does its action, its duty, plays duty to citizens, and return them home. Elsewhere, where there are responsible governments, this should never have been a debate in any case. It should have been done a long time ago. And now that's not being done, we demand that it is done. And I can assure you, now that the House will resume business next week, it will form a matter for which we are going to make daily demands until the last citizen is brought home. I'd like to invite the Party Secretary General for NUP to make some remarks.
and honorable members present. I'm very humbled to be here to receive on behalf of NUP this contribution which has been raised by the members of parliament. It is by no means small. You all know the economic times that we are in, but to see that these honorable members decided to, put aside a substantial amount of money to support this effort is commendable, and we appreciate that from the Secretariat. I will say that from the time we started this effort, we have been able to return 72 Ugandans to the country. These include people who we have received at the Secretariat, but also those who have come in stealthily for fear of being abducted from the airport. You've been seeing what has been happening. Whenever these people come, they reach the airport and they're immediately hijacked by security operatives who warn them not to even be seen anywhere near NUP. But I'll say that in the coming days, we shall be able to bring all these people together and for them to tell their stories. Good enough, most of the media houses have gone to interview these people and they've talked about the conditions in which they have been living for a long time. It is a very big shame that the regime is waking up, following the pressure we've put. You remember when Honorable Muwada went there around August and raised the issue in Parliament, they continued to ignore it until recently when our president decided to do a concert. It was blocked, and now the effort started in earnest to see that these people are returned home. So 72 people have come. I'll also say that we are grateful to all Ugandans who have contributed towards this effort. I've just been cross-checking with the accounts department, and if you add what we are getting today from the members of parliament, we've been able to collect 80 million shillings, 80.6 million shillings, which is definitely a substantial amount. What we've been doing is mostly symbolic, to show the nation, to offer leadership, but also to request all people who are there. And I'm always delighted every day when I receive calls from people who have been able to buy tickets for 2 people, for 3 people. Not everyone has to go through NUP. Our objective is to ensure that these people return home. Whether they come through NUP or come through other bodies or whatever, we don't mind as long as these people are able to return home. So our effort is still ongoing, and we shall be updating the nation on the next steps as we come to the closure of this effort that we are dealing with now. I thank you.
Before we undertake the ritual of handing over the money by the Honorable